Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we're taking a look at Kaleidoscope Echo. By 4Pockets. It's for iOS and Mac. And let's have some fun with it because it's pretty cool. Let's go. Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Jade and this is How to App on iOS, and I hope you're doing okay. Welcome. Very excited about this one today because we're going to have some fun with this. It's a fun app. It's really cool. I didn't expect it to do all these fun things that I thought when I got a hold of it, but it's exceeded my expectations, and that is what we want. What are we looking at? We are looking at the brand new Kaleidoscope Echo, or just called Kaleidoscope if you want to search it on the App Store. Kaleidoscope Echo by 4Pockets, Paul from 4Pockets, and it's pretty damn neat. Let's say hello to you all, and we'll jump in and do some demos and all that jazz. Thomas Christ, who's following today with You Rock, playing your most rockin' music. I will take the pleasure of dumping you there straight after. Jamie Lynn, what's going on? Justine Kasprick, hello. Who else? Joe Glenn, Hugh Caldwell. What's going on, Hugh? Driven to Right, hello. Ed Zelensky. Yes, indeed. What's going on, Ed? Good to see you. Pop into Clubhouse. We haven't seen you for a little bit. Thomas is banging. Thomas is banging the links, man. Thanks, Thomas. You can become a Patreon, have the chance to win some apps, get your music mastered. Pretty cool. Become a member for $1 or SuperChats, all that stuff. 730 Productions. Greetings to you. And Leela is still lurking. Awesome. All right, let's get into this. So let me tell you a few things. It's got a cost. It costs money. Things do. They cost money. $9.99 for Kaleidoscope Echo. You can get it on the App Store. As I said, it works on your Mac as well. It says, yes, works on Mac. There are no in-app purchases. It's a one-off price. You own it, and I'm sure it'll get updated. Paul will probably add some cool new thing that he's been holding off on before he released it like he always does, but we're getting into it nice and quick. So what is it? It has Kaleidoscope in the name. Echo kind of gives you a hint. It's, I don't know. I'll just play it and show you what it is to give you some explanation. Clayton Von Kluge has joined us. Peace, my friend. What's happening? Alrighty, I got a demo of this thing sitting here somewhere in AUM. Boom! Now I made something really strange because why not? So there's some really weird chords going on in this little project. What have we got in here? We got 3 instances of Kaleidoscope running. And they're all being controlled by other things. So we got Helium controlling this one, we got Zoa controlling this one, and we got Helium controlling this one. And it goes into a piano, we got a hammerhead, we got a sound box with their brand new post-rock guitar, acoustic guitar in there, Mariana for some bass, and we got Elastic OSC just for some little sprinkles on the end of sound. So I'll shut up and hit play. It's a weird one. Let's oj. right, so what exactly does this thing do? Well, let's close out of this sort of project here, and I've got this other one I want to open up, just a quick one. Hopefully it all works. Kaleidoscope demo. Boom. Oh, I opened the wrong one. Oh, you silly old duffer. What's going on? Silly old duffer. Haven't used that word in probably about 20 years. What's going on? Let's just wait for this thing to finish out opening, and then we'll close it and reopen. All right, thank you very much. So remember the right one this time. It was this one here, Kaleidoscope Echo 1. Boom. So very simple, this. And just to show you some of the magical stuff that can come from not loading much. So basically, we're using in here Harmony Bloom, which is creating notes. And those notes are being sent into Kaleidoscope. And then Kaleidoscope is sending the notes into our guitar here. So if I hit play, listen. Now, if I bypass this, we're just getting individual notes being struck from Harmony Bloom. Let's add there's some note duration to this. So we've got full notes playing. And then when we unbypass Kaleidoscope, we start to get these beautiful melodies playing. And you may be thinking, are they just delays? You can use this to create a delay effect using the velocities, or you can actually sequence this, or you can create chords with this. It's so a lot of multitasking things you can do with it. It's a bit of a Swiss Army knife for melody, delay, sequencing. It's very clever. And this will just keep doing its thing, man. It's really nice. Still playing, I've stopped it. So this is the last notes kind of ringing out. Anyway, let's clear this and start from scratch. So we'll just load up an instance of a piano first in this track here. We'll just do a piano tech. We'll keep it nice and simple. And over here now, this is a MIDI effect, remember? So it doesn't generate any sounds, it just generates MIDI. So you need to open this as a MIDI effect. Oh, I've opened two of these. What am I doing? Sorry. Hang on. I'll sort it in a second. So let's load Kaleidoscope. So it makes no sounds. And we want to send this out into the piano. So you've got inputs and you've got outputs. Now you've got a full MIDI out, which will send these MIDI notes out. Or you can do a MIDI through. Completely up to you. I'm going to do a MIDI out to the piano. So now, if I go to play my keyboard, well, nothing's happening. Of course, nothing's happening because we got to come back in here and we got to connect a keyboard. So let's do that. I'll connect my Arturia key step. And now we should be ready to go. So I can play a note. Now, I'm running the keyboard through, it's connected to this, to Kaleidoscope. So I'm not running it through the keyboard. I'm running it through Kaleidoscope, and then those notes are being sent out to the piano. So you see I'm hitting a note, looks pretty standard kind of stuff. Nothing's really happened. Every time I hit a note, you can see it's triggering. Let's start off at the settings over here. First thing I do, now you might want to not do this. Depends on your iPad as well. I'm going to turn on particle effects just because I like it. So every time I hit a note now, you'll see these little particle effects show the note being struck. I just like that. Again, with fancy things like that, it depends on, you know, how old your iPad is and all that kind of stuff. You want to save a little bit of memory, get rid of the particle effects. In here, you have your initial preset. So if you want to start from scratch, hit a knit preset, hit yes, it'll take you back to the start. You completely clean slate. You can load presets. Now, the first time you load up Kaleidoscope, my recommendation is to load it as a standalone instrument. So do a search for it, Kaleidoscope, load it up as a standalone, and you'll get a little message like this saying it's standalone. There's a help menu, all that stuff. And what you want to do is hold down here to activate the presets manager, and then you'll get a whole bunch of presets. If you don't do this, it'll come up saying there's no presets. It kind of needs to be activated. What's going on, Brad? Example, good to see you. Just so you know, yeah? We can close that and come back to our AUv3 version that we've got here on AUM. Now this works in all your DAWs. We'll show you it in Logic soon. It works really good in Logic. So you can load presets from here. Once your presets are in there, and it'll open up this little preset box with folders. You can tap on a folder, you can go back, and you've got harmony, strums, echo, sequences, and some examples, some Brad examples. If we tap here again, you can save a preset from here. You can get to your settings. You've got your knob mode. You've got particle effects, some little settings in there. Open window, so you can decide what's open if you want your preset manager or the color scheme or any of that stuff. Your help manual is here as well, opens up inside the app, so you can scroll through the help menu. And if you get to a part where you're like, all right, let's read this bit about the controls. Now I want to jump out of the help menu, but I want to go back because I didn't read the rest of that properly. So you can just come back to the help menu and you are still in that same position where you left off. Yeah. So you can save this as a PDF if you want to save it on a computer or your iPad. All good. So there is your manual. It's a nice, beautiful manual like all 4Pockets apps. Very clean and with diagrams, and you're not going to get too lost. You know what I'm saying? So like with all of Paul's apps, you'll notice with these buttons up here, you can see some of them have a little chevron up in the corner and some of them have a little arrow here that points down. Normally that means if there's a chevron, it means a long press and you'll get a bunch of options. Or if you swipe down on this button, like so, you'll get this. And these take you to the custom color editors. So you can see here, you can change the color scheme to what you want, orange or blue or pink, and you can change all these out as you want. We'll just leave it as soothing blue as the default, or orange. There you go. You can change the knob style, so you can really customize this. If you don't like that little screen there, as I said, just swipe down and you'll get this. So you've got a full custom color editor here where you can change the hues and all this stuff, multi-selection background. You can go in and change all of your stuff there. Hey, what's going on, Studio 6+1 Dave? Good to see you. And Phoenix Falling, hello to you too. So there's your color options if you're into that kind of stuff. So again, swipe down or just long press and you can do that. We'll go back to blue. So again, you'll see these chevrons and these little arrows everywhere. Next section here is our preset page. If you click on it, you'll just get this little drop down. If you want a larger version of the preset selection, hold down and you'll get this. You'll get the full preset manager. Now, what's cool about this is you can drag and drop things. So I might want to drag this out or drag things off into a folder. So the Files app, I can do that right from here too. So I could swipe up from the bottom right now, maybe, if it's going to let me. Drag over. I haven't tried this, so I'm expecting it's going to work. So here on my iPad, and we'll wait for that to load, and we'll just set it to, oh yeah, set to date, please. There we go. Where shall I put it? Oh, we'll put it in iCloud downloads. So I should be able to grab this and drag it over here, and there it is. Really easy to drag and drop presets. And so you might have like a bunch of presets on another iPad or your iPhone or whatever, or someone else has brought their iPad over. You can grab these from the files and drag it back in. You can see it's got the little plus sign there. So dragging and dropping files, really, really easy to do. Like with all Paul's apps, you can create folders as well, delete, rename, refresh, load or save a file, completely up to you. Again, you have this hold down to bring up the preset manager, or you can, I don't think can you do the drag? No, you can't do a drag, so there's no arrow, or just tap and you'll get this mini version where you can just pick a preset from here. Want to save a preset? You've made a preset, it looks cool, you want to save it. here's the save button. Easy, just click it, name it, save it. Let's show you where it goes. So let's just put a demo, hit save. And now when we click down here, you'll see this is down by itself. Now I might want to go and put that in a little preset folder. I can do that. I can come over here, I can hold down, bring up this menu, create a brand new folder, and just change this folder, write this folder as user. Okay. And now I can drag this demo into that user. File management is very, very easy here with this app. So there's your save button there. Of course, we have key. So you can choose your key in here. You can tap down. Now, when you hold, again, there's a little chevron in there. And if I hold down, you'll see what pops up in the middle of the screen. It says scale lock on. Now, when scale lock on is activated, I can pick any preset I want from here, and it will remember the scale. So everything that I've selected here will remain. There's nothing worse sometimes when you're going through presets and you've got a scale and it works in the song, and you pick a preset and it changes the whole scale, and you've got to do that. Well, with this, you can just hold down here and it'll lock the scale so you can be free to move around, play around with your presets, and get more out of it. Denise, hello, hello, hello. And Chris, greetings to Chris. So next to that, we have scales. And click on here and look, there's heaps of scales. There's so many scales, you'll probably never even use 95% of them, but we love having options, right? So your majors, your minors, you got everything in here. You probably even got stuff you've never heard of and never will again. And that's cool. But so choose your scale. Your chromatic is your what it's set to as an init patch. Hello, Tremor Bear. Folks, Tremor Bear's coming on the show tomorrow. We're interviewing him. We're going to catch up, listen to his music. So hopefully you can join us for that. But now, in talking about the scales here, you don't have to come in and choose a scale because you have this little scale pad here. You can come in and make whatever you want. You just check a key and they will change color, showing that that scale is whatever you like. So you can come in and remove all of them if you want. Let's just remove all these and just leave 2. And there's your scale. That's your weird scale that you've created. So plenty of options for scales, which we'll come back to soon because scales are very, very important. Over here, this little button here, let me explain it. I'm going to explain it to you, but then I'll show it to you later. This button here is called scale mode. So when you click it, it says here now, each pitch increments by equals 1 semitone. So you're skipping, when you turn this on and off, basically what it says, when enabled, the pitch increase knob and pitch sliders are working as scale steps rather than semitones. So we're working in semitones over here with our pitch, but when you change this, it is changed to scale degrees, which we will cover, because normally in a scale, like a minor scale, there's 7 notes, where if we're working a chromatic, we're working from 1 to 12 to the octave, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Chromatic scale, 1 to 12, boom. You're looking at a minor. That octave would be on the 7th, but we'll get there. All right, we've got a loop button here. So when the loop is connected, when you play a note and hold that note down, everything will just keep looping. You've got a MIDI panic button and the bypass button, which we're going to be using a heap so you can hear the difference of what is happening. So this is all our top section covered. Let's get into, whoa, how cool was that? So we'll do an init patch. We'll start again with an init sequence. Again, 1 note. We can play chords. So I'm playing these in with my handaroos. So how do we make this do something? Well, glad you asked. We have a few sections here. We have our step length and our repeats. If I turn up our repeats, you'll notice this start to move up. Now, we can go all the way up to 17 here. So now 7 is about good for a delay. So I'm just going to set this set to a delay. Now, if I hold down a key, it's still not doing anything. It's still only playing 1 note. Why is that? Why are we only getting 1 note? This is where it comes in with the step length. So If we turn the step length up, now I'm just going to turn up like 124 milliseconds. And now I play a note. Whoa. Yeah. Okay, so we're starting to get this little sequence here. And they're chasing after each other. Well, that's cool. Yeah, it's kind of a bit boring. Let's move this up a bit more. Let's turn up the step. All right. That's a lot slower. But really still not doing anything that exciting. Well, here's where things can get cool. We have a step sync here. Now, when you turn this on, this changes our step length over here to be set to the DAW. So now you can see we can work in 16ths and all that. Now we're in an 8th. We can play chords. Oops, I'll play a better chord than that. Cool. Well, that's doing something. That's nice. So we're getting some notes being played there. Nice. Wicked. All right. Now let's turn this into a delay, shall we? Because that's where the echo comes from here. So how do we do something like a delay? Well, we have this second line here of our velocities, and we have our pitch down here. You have over here a start velocity and a end velocity. So if I turn this end velocity down, you can start to see we're getting a trail off here. So the velocity starting at 80 and it's ending at 10. And now we're getting that kind of delay effect. We hit one note. So pretty standard kind of delay. We can also start where we want the velocity to rise from. High sonic vibe. I agree 100% with that. Paul's apps. I like the darker aesthetic. So much is this, so many apps are this AUM color. It's a little bit boring, man. I've got to say. A little bit boring. But then, hey, look, you can't win because you go and do something really bright and colourful and everyone goes, that's too colourful. You can't win. It's a competition that you just may as well give up. Well, the difference is with this too, instead of just being a delay that rings down, well, we have this little knob over here which allows us to start how loud the velocity is. So we can take this right up all the way to, now remember, the difference is this isn't a delay. It's sending actual MIDI notes. So if I recorded this somewhere, every note here, every 7 of those notes would be a MIDI note instead of just one note with nothing else, right? So that's a delay is an effect where this is actually using MIDI to do this. So now you can see we've got this up to 127. Let's bring this down a little bit, so it's all the way down. And there's our delay. But you can't do this with a delay, yeah? Because these are MIDI notes, we can turn the velocity all the way down to 0 at the start and bring the velocity up at the end, so we're getting a reverse delay. You try doing that with a fucking delay. It doesn't happen, right? Baseline, what's going on? Good to see you. So we're going to reverse delay. Awesome. Now, if we double tap any of these two here on each end, it's going to bring this back to 0. Boom. Or 80 for your velocity. That's the start point. And this comes up. So double tapping will allow you to do that. We can increase the speed of this to whatever we want. How fast was that one? Right. 128T. So now if I turn on this loop up here and then hold down a note, it's just going to keep going as long as I'm holding down a note. So again, way more than a delay. You can get some pretty crazy things happening there. Now we also have this a key across the top here, which is our, sorry, just give me a sec. Our key across the top. We've got this release. I want to cover release. So with release, show you with me playing. With release off and I hold down a key, if I let go, it still plays, right? No matter what, press, it's still going to play. But if I have release turned on, as soon as I lift my finger, it's going to stop. So you can really get a lot of control over this. Whereas if release was on, it's playing all the way through to the end of that seventh. With release on, as soon as I let go, nice. So, but what you can also do with this is turn off notes. So let's talk about these numbers across the top here. We have R, which is our root note. So that will be the, whatever the key is set up here, C, yeah. But here we have all these others. Now these can be turned off individually. So I can come in and turn off and watch what happens. So you're getting those gaps in there. In fact, let's turn. So hopefully you're already seeing some of the value in this. Yeah, you can really create some unique things. Now, I'm just playing notes in at the moment, just with something like a note generator, that's when things get super crazy. But we have barely even scratched the surface with this. All right, what do we go with next? Now, we'll cover tied notes soon. Let's get into the velocity, being able to customize your velocities. So with this start velocity here, I'm just going to, so we've already covered double tapping it. We'll bring it back to its original state. But if you triple tap, you'll see it goes completely dark and we got this little message here saying velocity off. So now the velocity will depend on how hard I hit the key. Right, so the keyboard takes over. Let me show you. I'm going to play a very soft note. And a very loud note. So your keys control the velocity. Triple tap over here again. And it comes back on and the velocity is back to being controlled by this, right? So when the velocity is on here and you're playing your keyboard through Kaleidoscope, whatever this first note is set to at 80 will be the velocity for each keystroke. No matter how hard I hit this keyboard or how soft, it's going to be 80. There's that, so you know. But it gets more fun because there is over here on this velocity, this is the velocity increase or decrease for the entire sequence. If you triple tap this, it goes into this special mode where you can come in yourself and decide the velocities yourself, right? So once this is, once you can't access this and turn it, you're in this mode and we can come in and change all these velocities to whatever the hell we want, up and down, Let's go there. Let's bring this one down. And now when we play this sequence, we'll slow it down a bit so you can hear. Right, so we've got the release on at the moment too. So you can get pretty wild. Now, we can turn these repeats up and we can come in here and we can mess with these as well. Change all these out, get a really long playthrough. Let's just go mess around. So a lot of options around the velocity. Let's triple tap over here. 1, 2, 3, bang. And we're back on. Thank you, Brad Exam, for gifting a membership there. Dan Eckberg, good stuff. Double tap any of these and you're going to bring back your velocities back to 0. Maybe. There we go. So we're back to 0 there. Triple tap and you're in your special mode. There you go. Triple tap and you're back out. Triple tap over here and you've turned off the velocity. Triple tap and you're back. All right, let's talk about pitches. Let's get into the fun stuff. We're at a halfway point, so I need to do this. Every day on the show we run an ad. And because YouTube forced me to. No, we don't. But we run the ad so everyone gets the ad at the same time. Boom, the ad has been run. It's been run. You may or may not get an ad. There we go. It has been run. Let me tell you a little something about something that's coming up tomorrow, because this guy, Tremor Bear, is coming on the show. Boom. And we're going to hang out for 2 hours, play his music, and we're going to talk and find out all about him. Carlos. It's going to be fun, and I'm very excited, and sponsored by DistroKid. Oh, awesome. Also, folks, Walk With Me is currently in its production stage. So, Walk With Me has, I don't know, 20 minutes worth of video that needs to be edited. Just so you know, if you don't know what Walk With Me is, most weeks I head out during the week and I film around Melbourne, Victoria, and it's kind of like a tourist vlog. I don't know what it is. It's just me getting healthy and walking around. But yeah, we're at this stage at the moment where all the music's being put in and we're about there. That's where we're up to, right there. And this is all that's got left to do editing. So it's looking good. Maybe we'll close today's show with the first minute or so of Walk With Me. Whatever. All right, we're back. We're good. We're back to the demo. Ads been run. People have skipped. Whatever. So what I need to just check 1 second here. What the fuck was that? I can't even find it. There we go. It's all right. Let's talk about pitch, because you can create chords with this as well. And let me show you how to do that. So I'm going to go back to a knit patch here and turn this off. So we just got one note or a chord if I play it. Well, you can actually come in here and soup this up. So what I'm going to do first is turn our repeats up, and we'll turn this up to 12. Let's just put up to 12. It's about an octave, I guess. And now, again, nothing is happening. Why is nothing happening? Well, of course, we need to change the pitch up a little bit. So we're going to talk about this bottom line here with the pitch. So over here is our pitch increase. And if I turn this up, it goes up by a semitone. And it sounds amazing when it's all played together, doesn't it? Let's just play one note. Now let me show you that with a little bit of length in between there. That's what she said. So we're going up by one semitone each note. Now I've just turned up the step length to an eighth so we can hear that all played in a sequence. Now, if I turn up the pitch here by one more to 2 semitones, check this out. We're getting something a little bit more melodic there. Now, if we turn up to 3 semitones, whoops. Sorry, I hit 2 keys there. If we go up to 4 semitones, there we go. Nice. Now let's pull down the step length over here. Oh, we're getting like some kind of chord sound. If you like strange jazz. Weird. All right. Well, you can make this even better. Remember before I said you could turn off notes up here? Well, this is where it gets cool. Let's take out a couple of notes. We'll leave the 3rd in here, and we'll leave the 7th, and maybe the 10th. And let's play a note now. Oh. If we turn up our step length, now we're in chromatic at the moment, so let's change up we're still in C, let's change up to maybe a harmonic minor, and listen when I play a note now. Pretty fucking cool, huh? Now we can bring these semitones down a little bit. We can change where we want these notes to be selected. I can add a 12th in here. We can take out the 10 and the 12. So the sky's the limit, really, with creating chords like this. But let's come and talk about this. So we're in this minor at the moment, and we've got this pitch set to 2 currently. G'day, Live to Fly. And field tone audio. I got lost there for a second. So let's come back to these chords. Now we've got the root note selected, right? So R, 3, 7. What I'm going to do is unselect all these, and we're going to put this on the 12. So this should be the octave. Now we're in a harmonic minor, so I'm playing this C, and you can see root note and the harmonic. Now, I was mentioning before about this button up here. When I turn this on now, it shifted everything from, instead of semitones, it's moved it to steps. So here it is with this turned off and on. It doesn't work because this is moving by steps in our scale. So instead of 12, we're going to have to move this to 7 because there's 7 notes in the scale. Right, turn this off again. We'd have to add 12 back. So look, not only is this a delay and an echo and a sequencer, and if you're not really good at understanding chords, you can create chords in here and play single note chords. Neat. It's really, 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 really cool. And then you can space this out if you want. It's oops, a bit slow there. Let's bring all these in. And you can actually, I think you can turn them on. I thought you could do that. Hold down and drag. No, drag. Maybe you can't. Let's just turn them all on. Make it a bit faster. And let's start removing some notes randomly. It's so good. So good. All right. Let's cover a couple of the other buttons that are in here as well, like note skip and stuff like that. Just give me a second. God, I can't remember everything. It's been a weird day. Weird morning. Note skip. Note skip on. So with these two, pitch skip and note skip, this keeps the settings that you have here, right, without missing them up. So like how do I explain this? God, I had a way to explain it. My brain just stopped working. Pitch note skip to pitch skip. If there's notes missing from here, right, so here we've got some notes missing out of this, it's still going to keep the note within there. So you can see when I turn this on and off, oops, oh, sorry, pitch skip. When I turn off pitch skip, sorry, you'll see these change down here, right, because they're actually, it's counting them in as with the missing notes. Hear the difference? Where it's getting higher there, where if we have pitch skip, it keeps the scale in at a low. So if you've got notes at the end, here's the better way to explain it. If you've got notes here at the end that are getting a little bit high, like this one, listen. So it gets high on that last note, on that 12th note. If we turn on pitch skip, it's going to rein that in again, rein that in. Same exact thing, but it's just keeping it lower, right? So the octave is not raising as high. And the same thing for the note skip, but the opposite way. Instead of for the pitch, we're talking about for notes. You've also got ties in here as well. So let me show you ties with something like, let's add another instrument. Let's add like a VHS synth, King of VHS. And instead we'll shoot this out to King of VHS. Oops. Come back over here. Now you can actually tie notes together. So now we've got 3 notes missing here. If I turn on tie notes, it doesn't skip and have a blank space. It hangs the note. So this root note is getting hung and then everything plays. Now if we turn off those, you're getting a solid stop, yeah? So you're getting that muting happening, but with tying notes, you're getting that extra, if I hit the right note. You can hear it really well when you slow it down. Hey, Sim. Thanks. Thank you, my friend. But if we turn off this now, it stops. All right, let's get fun. We also have this reverse pitch. I'm going to turn on all these notes here again. Let's turn them all back on. We have this reverse pitch. Now, this is almost like turning our pitch into a waveform. With reverse modulation, just pay attention. I'll zoom in for you. Pay attention to how these notes are rising, right? So they're going from 0 up to 24. If we start turning up this pitch reverse, look at that. It starts creating this variation of notes in there, which is starting to look like a waveform. Experimentation is key, but it even gets better. Let's turn down pitch reverse. There's another triple tap here you can do on our pitch. Triple tap and it turns on another little secret section here. I can come in here now and let's turn off the step length. And I can start raising the pitch up by whatever I want, each individual one. So I could go like we can go say 3. We can take this one up to 7, bring this one down like 12. And you can make your own chords in here. So now if we turn our step length on, listen to this. So we haven't added any, so this is taking over up here for the actual way we were creating chords before. So we can keep coming in. We can do like an octave up, 12. We can do like a -3 here, maybe a -7 over here. And you can go to your heart's content. Now you don't have to, I'm using what, 12 at the moment. 12 in the repeats. Just do a 9. Let's bring this down. And if we turn on our repeat up, our loop up here, turn off release. Now this can also be transformed into a delay again by turning these down. Let's bring this right down. Turn off release. So you're able to keep that echo delay kind of thing, but with musical notes, with a scale. Let's change the scale out here to like a Mixolydian penta. Now remember, once you are in this triple tap over here, you can only control these. Triple tap to get out, and you're back to the ability to use the reverse parameters and the pitch and do all that. Remember, you can just set the pitch to go all the way down. Right? Let's just go. All right, there's another setting up here. I'm going to, so we've got beat to snap. So this will make sure your notes snap to the beat. Pretty explanatory there. Also, as I said here, we can lock our scale. So then I can come in and choose any of these presets. Let's move this back over to the piano. Boom. So some of the presets in here include harmonies. So you can just choose like a harmony, bang. So there's heaps of these in here to play up with, just octaves. Now the thing to remember when you're using notes like this and creating chords is whatever scale you have selected here will move to the next note, right? So it will stay in scale no matter what. So it will move to the next note. So other presets in here, scroll up, there's a little folder to go back. You've got strums. So beautiful. You've got echoes. Got a medium echo here. So a bunch of echoes in there. We've got sequences. So it's Chinese chops. Let's grab one from down here, like a pulse train. Pitch skipping, C major. So shit can get pretty pretty crazy. And the last folder in here, I think there's user, and there's some examples in here as well. So like a cascade. Beautiful chords. Now, let me show you something quick. Let's get rid of this king of EHS. We only got like 8 minutes. This is really good for sending MIDI notes to from something else, right? So something like I showed you Harmony Bloom before. Let's just do that again. We'll load a Harmony Bloom, and we'll send this out to our Kaleidoscope. And then Kaleidoscope is going into there. So now I have Harmony Bloom set up. Let's pop in here. We'll make sure, we'll set this to a harmonic minor. Come in here, see, what have we got? A harmonic minor there as well. And now, if I hit play, Harmony Bloom sending the notes into Kaleidoscope. And you're going to get some pretty beautiful stuff going on. You can get very inventive with this. Take out notes. Turn up the repeats. Anyway, I've barely scratched the surface with the things you can get very inventive. I have missed one thing too. Let's let that ring out. You do have this little section up here for note options. So this will allow you to cancel same note echoes or cancel previous notes. You can also change, add this to the note length. Let me explain this. It's a weird one. Where are we? I've got to read it. Note options, note length. The note length knob allows to specify the step length multiplier. All right, so you can see a multiplier up here. So we're set to an 1/8 at the moment, but we can come up and we can multiply this 1/8. So as an example, so if the step length is set to 8 notes and the length note multiplier is set to 2, which it is right now, there we go, 2. Boom. Then the notes play for an 1/8. 2 equals a quarter note. It means there is an 1/8 note that overlaps notes. Let's play it. Now remember, with C locked, you can come in and change anything you want. Let's choose a different one here. 16ths. The last thing I want to show you, because I don't think anyone else has really done this, is just show you it working in Logic, because we all know Logic, don't we? It's a finicky thing, that thing called Logic. All right. So I'm going to start a new project, create a MIDI channel. And down here in MIDI effects, I'm going to do exactly what I just did then, yeah? So I'll load a Harmony Bloom. And next to that, once Harmony Bloom's decided to load, we'll load in a copy of Kaleidoscope, which means Harmony Bloom sending notes into Kaleidoscope. Then we can come over here, choose Piano Tech. Let's choose a guitar for this one in Piano Tech. Just go there. We'll do like a 12 string. Thank you very much. And we're all set up. So let's come into Harmony Bloom. and I'm going to turn it on. We'll turn the notes up, and let's just create a little bit of randomization over here. So when we hit play with Kaleidoscope, we'll grab, I don't know, we'll do like some kind of echo, just some 8 notes. There we go. All right, but you're probably just thinking, well, can't I just do that with a delay? Can't I just record the delay? Well, again, lastly, this is MIDI notes. So if we turn this on, remember with Logic, you're going to want to do this with the actual MIDI input that's creating the notes. So we're using Kaleidoscope for this. I'm going to hold down and record MIDI to track and just start recording. And watch what happens. I'm going to turn off the count in. Watch what happens. Record. Every single note is getting put in there. Whereas with a delay, you would not get that. You would just get the one strike of the note and the delay handles everything else. Meaning you have the absolute power to come in here with this and then edit to your heart's content. Now look at that. You can see within the notes here just how hard Kaleidoscope is working with all those velocities. It's just a real treat, you know. Let's not beat around the bush here. Paul's got just an innate understanding of finding new ways to do things that are very clever, taking very old, trusted ways and turning them into something special. And I think this is really special. It's a nice app. Fantastic, because if you've got projects with your scales, you can match it and just mess around. My best advice is, if you're going to grab this, download it, have some fucking fun with it, because it's no point downloading these things and buying them if you're not having fun making music. $10 on the App Store, works on iOS, and it also works on your Mac if it's an M1 or above, I think. There you go. I have lost my voice for some reason. But my dear friend Thomas Christ is coming up next. He's playing Your Most Rockin' Music on Yo Rock. I'll be back tomorrow with my interview with Tremor Bear. I can't wait to have Tremor Bear on the show. I've known Carlos for a very long time. He's been around so many channels. He makes such great music, and it's a real honor to have him on the show. I'm super pumped. So come along tomorrow, folks, and support our dear friend Tremor Bear, because he's been supporting you just as long as he's been around, yeah? And he's probably played some collaborations with you all. He's a damn fine musician and a damn fine human being. All right, let's get out of here. Thomas Christ, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's OJ.